Hello, robotics and engineering students. We just chatted on Discord. I wanted to send another video, as I'm trying to do every day. In the meantime, I wanted to show you this website, Instructables. If you haven't ever been to the Instructables website, it's a pretty cool place, just basically people posting how to make things. But every once in a while they have challenges, and they happen to have this sort of speed challenge right now is just to make something that's really small. You can see if you scroll down all the different entries people have put into the contest right now. It's actually not that many. Maybe it's a lot. It's not that many. You can win a $200 Amazon card. You only have 4 days left to enter. But if you're looking for something to do, you guys are all engineering types who like to make things. This might be a cool kind of weekend project for you to work on. Anyway, I just wanted to pass on that information. I will put a link on our website as well as on Discord for you regarding that. So let's go back to Fusion. Here we are. As you can see, all I've done is change the color and added a few elements here. How we'll get to the final version, which if I go all the way forward, will take us here. We can see a nice rendered version of this object. And I'm going to show you how to get from where we were last time to this point. So I'll back us all the way up here to where I finished off, which was right here. So we got the cuts in for the Arduino, and that's about it. You can see these rounded sides here. How did I do that, you may wonder? Well, I recognized I wanted to have those added to the part, and you'll see why in a moment. And the best way to do that was actually to go back in time. And this is something you guys should be comfortable with. So what I did was I rolled back the timeline here to when that part was not its own component. So here we are all the way back in time. It's its own component. It's not a component, it's a body here, body 3. I do have the I have the pegs here, but not the standoffs in there. And you can see the rest of the timeline's all set here, but it's grayed out because we can't see it yet. And I brought the slider all the way over here. And this is where I want to begin to do my work. So I actually created a new plane off of the top here, which is this move. And then I drew a sketch, highlight those sketches so you can see them. And now you can see these circles that I drew. I just gave dimensions to one and then mirrored everything across, so they're all connected. And I moved the slider back up to where I wanted to be, which is about right here. I'm going to hide these now. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to adjust the height of the enclosure, and I wanted to add an acrylic top, and I wanted to add some hardware, some heated inserts, and some screws to hold that acrylic top on. So the first thing I did was actually creating this plane, and I wanted it to be above the highest point of the Arduino, which is the top here. And I wanted to make sure it gave me enough clearance over that, and then another 1/8 of an inch to accommodate the acrylic. So that came to 0.1875 inches. That's where I drew this. And then I used that to cut the enclosure by using the split body tool, which is here, split body. So you'll see if I scroll back just a little bit here, how the enclosure grows. When I split it like that, you'll see here, if I open up the body panels, I have 2 extra bodies. One is for this part here, and one is for here. You'll see, I'll turn them on. They're gray. So that, you can see the split line now that I used the plane to split the enclosure to the height I really want it to be. And I'll just turn these off again. So that's how I got the height I wanted of it. So then I used another offset plane at 0 length, or 0 height, so that it was basically the same plane as the new top of my enclosure. And I used the project tool to project the lines out, and the offset tool to offset them 0.0625. I did have to do some work here to get fillets. on the edges because they came out with at right angles here. So I actually used the fillet tool in the sketch menu to do that. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude this down as a cut. So I'll extrude this, which is highlighted, as well as this part here as a cut, 1/8 of an inch, to accommodate the acrylic piece that's going to sit flush with this side of the 3D enclosure. So the next one should be that move, and I'm going to turn the sketch off. And here you can see I've depressed that 1/8 of an inch so the acrylic piece can sit there. This is creating the acrylic piece. So the next thing was to create a plane on this edge here that I'm now highlighting, this bottom edge, and basically using that to create the acrylic piece. And then I just extruded that up. Projected this geometry into it. I drew a line from this corner here all the way over to this kind of corner you can't see on the inside to connect this space so it turned into one profile. And then I was able to extrude that here. It says I turned it into a component, but I did that with the extrude. So here's that. What I did, instead of new body, I actually said new component. It already did that here. So that's how that was created. Now I have several different components. I've got my bottom enclosure, I've got the Arduino, and I've got the acrylic top. So all those components are there. And that's pretty much everything that you needed for the parts. The last things that I needed to do was to add some hardware. The hardware are screws and some heated inserts. The place to go for that is here in Insert, and we can come on down to Insert McMaster Car Component. And here you can actually use this little pop-up and type in whatever you want, like heated insert. So here they are. You can find what size you want. I use 256 for this one. You just find the ones you want, click on them, and then here you'll see it says product detail next to it. If you click on that and scroll down to the bottom here, you'll see this little drop-down menu. Usually the 3D step file works. Sometimes it might need a SolidWorks, but I've had a lot of luck with the step file. If you just click save, and then here is that object now placed in our file, and we can maneuver it around and place it where we'd like it to go. So here you can see it now. There's one, and I did these. This is a series of mirrors to get them into these all the 3 other remaining positions. So you'll see that happen here. Hopefully. There they go. It's taking a second. So now they're all in. And then I wanted to add screws. And so now you'll see the screw came in. There it is. And I've moved it and mirrored it. So now it's showing up there. So that's how I got from the last video to this video. Let me know if you have any questions on Discord, and I will be happy to answer them. Please post something that you've made. If you've attempted to make this, please post an image of that. And the last thing I'll show you is now we can take this into the render area, and we can actually get some nicer views of the object. You can set the component materials. So here, like the acrylic cover, we turn that on, and I can say physical material here, and then tell it what I'd like it to be. You simply drag these over and onto the material, and so you're left with these kind of nicer views, which you can save out by capturing the image. You can also make them a little bit nicer by rendering them here, clicking that render. It takes a little bit of time, but you could do that as well. Actually, just show you here, I've rendered this one out, and I get a nice image. It's on a, you can choose for it to be on a blank background, and then it looks kind of nice. You'll see it posted in the Fusion 360 channel on Discord. See how far you can get with your own Arduino enclosure. Let me know how it goes. There are a few mistakes that I've made in this. See if you can spot them, and again, let me know in the Discord if you see those mistakes and how you would correct those mistakes. Anyway, that is it for now, and have a great rest of your day.